Let's learn it. Yours truly, Cherboni.
Good morning, class! For our today's video, I am going to teach you different strategies and assessment in teaching prose. Are you ready to listen? Well, if you're ready, let's define first what prose is. A prose is ordinary language that follows a regular grammatical conventions and does not convey or contain a formal metrical structure. Now let's proceed to the different strategies in teaching prose. We have here 3. First is the silent reading, second is the modeled reading, and the third one is the 5S strategy. Let's discuss first the silent reading. Silent reading is a reading skill that allows one to read without voicing out the words. It allows the silent readers to simply interpret the material through the series of eye sweeps and without the delay resulting from vocalization. Teaching prose through silent reading can be done in 5 steps. First, give a copy of the selected prose or passage to the student. Second, give them instruction and enough time to read. Third, allow them to explore the guide questions. Fourth, allow them to read the passage for the second time. And for the fifth one, encourage them to answer the guide question to better understand the selected prose.
Application of silent reading. Give a copy of selected prose to the student. Give enough time to the student to read the passage. Allow the students to use guide questions and then let them read again for the second time. And for the last step, instruct the students to answer the guide questions.
Our next strategy is what we call modeled reading. Modeled reading involves a student listening to the teacher while reading aloud a text. It gives an opportunity to the teachers to demonstrate their enjoyment and interest in reading. It allows the student to see the purpose in learning to read. This can be done in the following steps. First, select an appropriate text. Second, introduce the text to the students. Discuss the title, the content, the author, and the illustrator. Third, allow or give the students an enjoyable reading experience. Fourth, allow the students to respond to the text. And for the fifth one, encourage the students to share what they have heard to extend their understanding through the text.
Application of modeled reading.
Tungkong Langit lost his temper. In his rage, he divested his wife of powers and drove her away. He did not know where Aluncina went. She merely disappeared. Several days after Aluncina had left, Tungkong Langit felt...
Last strategy is what we call the 5S prose strategy. This strategy enables the student to analyze the text purely on the basis of the sentences and the words used in the story. In this strategy, the student themselves engage in reading and making sense of it. It is called 5S strategy since it answers the 5S in the question. First, who is the speaker? Second, what is the situation? Third, what are the types of sentences used, and do the types of sentences reveals anything about the character's emotion? Fourth, is there any shift in the tone of the character or in the situation of the story? And for the last one, how does the syntax help you infer to the gist? This can be done in 5 steps. First, teach them the 5S strategy. Second, allow them to read the prose passage. Third, encourage them to use graphic organizer with headings speaker, situation, sentences, shift, and syntax. Fourth, guide the students through the process of reading and recording their observation and interpretation. And for the last one, urge the students to comment on how the syntax affected the overall meaning of the passage. Through this strategy, the students will no longer have a hard time on understanding the prose.
Application of the 5S PROS strategy. After the student have read the passage, teach them on how to use the concept map in making their 5S PROS strategy.
Now that we are done in the different strategies in teaching prose, we are now going to proceed to the different assessment in teaching prose. In this video, we have 3. First is the testing comprehension. Second, testing application. And for the last one is the concept map. Let's begin first with the testing comprehension. Testing comprehension allows the teacher to check the student comprehension ability. This can be done by the teacher by asking or giving questionnaire to the students from the taught passage. The question should be direct, short, and objective-based.
Application of testing comprehension. Once the student is done on reading the passage, give him or her enough time to answer the comprehension questions. This will serve as an assessment on how they truly understand the text.
Our next assessment is what we call the testing application. The main goal of application test is to evaluate the student's achievement over a period of time. This can be done by the teacher by giving questions to the students, which may be in written or oral type. After teaching the structure or vocabulary, the teacher would ask the students to do exercises at the end of the discussion.
Application tool or application test is an assessment. Giving an application test is just like giving a comprehension test to the students. The only difference is the structure and the purpose of giving the test. In this application test, it is more focused on the structure and vocabulary of the given passage.
It's what we call the concept map. A concept map is a visual representation of what you know. It helps you to organize and analyze the stories or the passage that you have read. We have here the following steps in developing a concept map. First, list the key concepts. Second, put your words inside your concept map. Third, build up concepts to elaborate key concepts. And for the last one, identify links between the concepts.
This is an example of concept map. In here, my student would make his own concept map regarding to the fable entitled The Lion and the Mouse. In his main concept, he jot down the main title, what type of prose it is a fable, and the following are the concepts related to the given text. Through concept map, we would be able to identify or to assess our student on how they truly understand the given passage. Because through concept map, they would only write the important or the key concept related on what they have read.
That's all we have for the different strategies and assessment in teaching prose. I hope that you've learned something. Thanks for watching and see you on our next online discussion.